Today, we're looking at something so completely ordinary, you probably use it dozens of times a day without even thinking twice. I'm talking about a chair. But what if I told you that a simple piece of furniture, combined with just 30 seconds of your time, could reveal some absolutely crucial data about the way your body is aging? In this explainer, we're going to break down an incredibly practical, evidence-based assessment that you can do literally right in your living room. It's all about healthy aging, protecting your long-term independence, and really understanding what your legs are actually trying to tell you.
So, here's the big question. Can you pass this 30-second test? Health professionals use this quick, totally free assessment all the time to check lower body strength and endurance. It's perfectly designed to give you a clear look at an ability that becomes, well, increasingly critical as we move past our 40s, 50s, and into our senior years. Look, this isn't about running a marathon, right? It's about the fundamental mechanics of your daily life. And the absolute best part? It takes exactly half a minute to figure out where your baseline is.
Now, before we get into exactly how to do the test, we really need to set the record straight on something. An assessment does not equal a diagnosis. I want to be perfectly clear here. Based on the research, your score on this test is not a medical diagnosis, and it certainly doesn't predict your exact lifespan. You shouldn't look at this and think it's some sort of crystal ball predicting how long you're going to live. No way. Instead, think of it as a snapshot. It's just a snapshot of your current functional independence. Plain and simple.
So, why do we even care about measuring this in the first place? Well, 14 million. Take a second to really let that number sink in. According to the CDC, more than 14 million older adults in the US report falling every single year. That's roughly 1 in 4 older adults. Falls are absolutely not a minor issue. They are a major, major threat to our health and our ability to live independently. And that is exactly why something as simple as standing up from a chair can be so profoundly meaningful. It's a direct indicator of the lower body strength you need to prevent those falls.
All right, let's dive into Section 1, the 30-second chair test.
But first, a quick, mandatory pit stop. Your safety matters so much more than whatever score you might get. Seriously, do not rush into this test if you experience significant balance problems, severe pain, dizziness, a recent injury, or, if a healthcare professional has ever told you to avoid this type of physical activity. If you have any of those issues going on, just sit this one out and learn the concepts with us today. Safety is always priority number 1. Okay, if you're safely able to participate, here is exactly how the test works. First, grab a stopwatch or just pull up your phone's timer and find a sturdy chair that isn't going to move or roll away from under you. Step 1, sit right around the middle of the seat. Step 2, keep your feet completely flat on the floor and cross your arms over your chest. Step 3, when you start that 30-second timer, stand all the way up. And step 4, sit back down completely. You're going to repeat that motion, standing all the way up and sitting all the way down as many times as you can in exactly 30 seconds. Just make sure you count every time you reach a full, complete standing position. And that's it. That is the entire assessment.
Moving right along to Section 2. What does your number mean?
Now, a really common misconception here is that there's one single magic number that applies to everybody. But the CDC uses age and sex-specific reference values because, let's face it, our physical performance naturally changes as we get older. A 6-year-old's expected score shouldn't automatically be compared to an 80-year-old's expected score. They're just entirely different baselines. Plus, getting a lower score than you expected doesn't automatically mean you're sick.
Let's actually look at what systematic reviews and researchers say this sit-to-stand test measures. It gives us vital information about 4 key areas: your lower limb strength, your overall balance, your functional performance, and your risk of future functional decline. Basically, this test is a highly effective way to identify folks who might be at risk for mobility problems down the road. So the real question you should be asking yourself isn't, did I get a perfect score? The much better question is, how capable is my body of doing one of the absolute most basic movements of everyday life?
Okay, Section 3. The big mistake.
The biggest mistake people make with this is chasing a random number by comparing themselves to the wrong people. Please, do not compare your score with the person next door. Definitely don't compare yourself to some fitness influencer or an athlete on the internet. And honestly, don't even compare today's number with a completely different test you did years ago under different conditions. A single number just doesn't tell your entire health story. Because things like age, previous injuries, and daily activity levels all play a huge part. Instead, the absolute most useful thing you can do is track your own physical function over time. Is your own personal number improving? Is it staying about the same? Or is it becoming noticeably harder for you to stand up? Tracking your own personal trajectory is infinitely more valuable than chasing an arbitrary target.
So, what if your score is lower than you'd hoped? First off,
Don't panic. Please don't label yourself as unhealthy just because of a 30-second snapshot. Just use it as information. A lower score might simply mean your legs need some regular strengthening. It might mean you're just spending a bit too much of your day sitting down. It could indicate your balance just needs some focused attention. Or, in some cases, if there's pain or severe difficulty, it might mean the issue deserves a professional evaluation from a doctor or physical therapist. It's really just a signpost, pointing you toward moderate, actionable steps you can start taking today.
Which brings us to Section 4, the true goal of aging.
The CDC is super clear on this. Engaging in regular physical activity to maintain this kind of strength pays incredible dividends. It obviously benefits your strength and balance, sure, but it also heavily supports brain health, heart health, and bone health. And the good news? You don't need to turn your living room into a high-intensity gym. Simple things like walking regularly, practicing controlled sit-to-stand movements safely, and doing basic strength exercises are incredibly useful. The ultimate benefit of all these activities working together is exactly this: independent living.
Think about how often you stand up during an ordinary day. You get out of bed, you climb stairs, you carry groceries, you get out of your car. None of these sound like traditional exercise, right? But they are the absolute foundation of your independence. Functional fitness simply means doing these ordinary things without your body constantly fighting you, and without you having to anxiously wonder if your body is going to cooperate today.
This really captures the entire philosophy of healthy aging. As the source material beautifully puts it, the goal of healthy aging isn't simply to add years to your life. It's to protect your ability to live those years independently. It's not about looking 20 years younger. It is about preserving your freedom to move through the world entirely on your own terms. That is the true power hidden inside this simple 30-second chair test.
So the crucial point now is to take this knowledge and actually apply it. If you're safely able to do so, I challenge you to try the 30-second chair test this week. Don't obsess over the final number, just use it to learn about your own functional baseline. And I really want to hear from you. What's your age group, and did you find the test easy, moderate, or difficult? Drop your experience in the comments so we can all learn from each other. Ultimately, you've got to ask yourself, what will your 30 seconds today reveal about your next 30 years? Remember, always prioritize your safety, listen to your body, and thank you so much for joining this explainer.